Tonight, the Valvoline Cup Series rolls into Richmond Raceway for race 6 of the season. And after Charlotte, Nashville, Phoenix, Atlanta, and Daytona, this field is battered, sharpened, and ready for a fight on the shortest stage yet. Richmond is where patience goes to die, 3 lanes of chaos, brake heat that never quits, and a rhythm so tight that one mistake, one slip, one dive bomb, or one mistimed pit call can flip the entire race upside down. And if we've learned anything so far this season, it's that no one is safe from the chaos. Milk enters tonight with a surge of momentum not seen in seasons, dominating Charlotte with over 90 laps led and sweeping all 3 stages. But Richmond isn't Charlotte. This place forces drivers into traffic, creates pressure, and punishes leaders who can't manage the long run. Behind him, the field is stacked with contenders who survived Charlotte or suffered through it. Weeb is coming off of a career run, and Pump showed raw speed but paid the price for every single mistake. Mopar and Chicken proved consistency is still a currency, and Joshua had top 5 pace until catastrophe struck. Valvac, Zay, and Raptor fought through their own battles just to make it to the line, and tonight, everyone has something to prove. Because Richmond demands discipline, it demands control, it demands respect, and it rarely gives any back. This is where the season truly hardens. This is where playoff hopes begin to take shape. This is where the mid-pack can steal a night, and where the favorites can watch their plans collapse in the blink of an eye. 100 laps. Heat, rubber, temper, short track pressure at its purest form. This is the Mobil 1 500. This is Richmond, and this is the Valvoline Cup Series.
And welcome back, everybody, to Valvoline Cup Series. It's the first season of NASCAR 25, and we are here at Richmond. It is the action track, and it's about to put on a whole lot of action for all of us, especially the way that it feels in this game. Super tight in the corners, incredibly loose on exit. It's going to be a challenge to keep it on the track and to keep it rolling fast. Hello, everybody. I am NLS Network once again in race commentating for the Valvoline Cup Series after an off week for Thanksgiving so I missed Charlotte, where Milk decided to light up the field. Pretty uneventful race, but a complete domination by the Milkman himself. He has found it in this game, and he is back to where he was in the Heat 5 days in terms of his competitiveness. It took him a little bit to figure out this game, you could argue, but he is here now. Looking at the roster tonight, we've got Milk, Cade, Death Chicken, Mopar, Weeb, Raptor, NLS, NASCAR fan, Jarrett, and G-Cool already in the lobby. We're expecting a couple more. If I look at who all is in the party, it's 12 in the party, so we should end up having 12 in the race. And as all this is happening, too, we've got college football championship week going on right now. So for those of you who are watching this over the game, first of all, you are a diehard, and that's awesome. Second of all, Tulane just scored on North Texas. Boise State is up 14-0 over UNLV. Kennesaw State 10-0 over Jackson State. And Troy and James Madison at halftime, 17-14 for JMU. What just happened? How long does he need? Oh, okay. That's fine. I thought you said 20 minutes, and I was concerned. Anyways, back to the booth for me. All right, so I just got jump scared by Bryce. He is going to show tonight. We're going to wait a little bit longer for him to show up. I thought they said 20 minutes. It's not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be significantly shorter than that. But as you all know, okay, my college keeps sending me emails. Anyways, back now. As you all know, Valvoline qualifying is a beast on its own. It is a heat, which means you have to battle lap traffic during your laps. You can back off and try to run a lap on your own, but some people like just to have that little bit of draft, and some people just like to get a feel for their car and serve it as kind of a practice session. So we'll see a couple of different strategies tonight as all of that goes through, I am sure. as we continue to wait for everyone who needs to join. I believe we are just waiting on Bryce now. All right, Milk is going ahead and doing the driver's meeting now, so we should have a little bit shorter time between qualifying and the race start. A large part of this race brief is about how treacherous Richmond is, especially on this tire compound. In NASCAR 25, they are using the softer right side tires that we saw at real life Richmond this year that made the cars incredibly exciting to watch, really loosened them up. Because of that nature of the tire and the track, we are going to see potentially a battle of survival as opposed to a battle of outright one lap pace. This could get very, very interesting. As we get ready to tackle the short track at Richmond, 3/4 of a mile. We're going to go 8 laps for this heat. Once Bryce joins, which he says he is getting into the party within the next few seconds. So we should see that pop up here in a moment. All right, the race EC is very fun today. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm gonna thug it out, commentate, make it a good show. Got my water beside me this time, so hopefully I won't be on the verge of passing out like I am most weeks. And Bryce has joined, which means we are about to start the countdown. And he needs another minute. So for another minute, I need to figure out filler. So instead, I am going to not give a play-by-play, but give a brief description of what's happening in the football game between North Texas and Tulane right now. Right now, officials are talking to each other. It looks like there is some sort of either penalty or timeout infringement or something weird's going on. I don't have the audio for it, and I just paid attention, so I don't really know what's happening. And now the countdown has started. I'm still not sure what's happening in this football game. It was something strange. But 40 seconds left until qualifying starts, so 40 seconds where I get to make up words. And we get to see what's happening. So we've got some invite issues going on in Valvoline right now, too, so we might end up pausing the lobby and... Alright, yeah, lobby's paused. Now, finally, Tulane, North Texas, they're going to run a play. Tulane's defense is scrambling around. They finally set up, ball snap. North Texas fires a deep pass. It looks like it's... Wow. It looked like it was going straight into the hands of a Tulane defender, but it was juggled by the North Texas wide receiver who ended up getting to it. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. It was I'm so not used to Tulane wearing light blue. It was juggled by a Tulane defender who looked to have the pick. It just went over his head a little too far, and it almost got picked up by the North Texas wide receiver. So almost a game of tips gone well for North Texas as they line up for 3rd and 12 on their own 32. Defense once again set ball. Snap pressure is coming, and they broke through the line. Down goes the North Texas quarterback for a loss of it looks like 12. That's going to be 4th down, nearly 25. That'll be a punt, North Texas for sure, giving the ball back to 20th ranked Tulane as they look to try to punch their ticket into the college football playoffs. Don't make me a football commentator. I don't know enough about the play style. I didn't play football as a kid. I thought the pads were too hard to put on and take off when I was 7. As we are now finally getting to some racing action here at Richmond. As the football game will have to go bye-bye so I can look at my in-race setups when the time comes. And now, after a lot longer of waiting than we thought, we are going green from Richmond for the heat qualifying. as we start this qualifying session, there's some talking in the chat about whether or not pit stops are going to be allowed. Of course, they are not here. As we see Milk and Bryce start to really get ahead right now on their laps. I'm waiting to see if the 47 backed out. He didn't. I'm glad I didn't ever go down the track. And now I can try to set some real laps here. In behind the two drivers who I think are going to be the best tonight, being Cade and Milk, as they both get ready to they both start setting their hot laps. I lose it behind Milk. So I'll have to reset and go again in a minute. Heat race a little bit hard to commentate because yes, there's stuff going on, but it's not super relevant to the competition side of the race, if that makes sense. So right now, everybody's just testing out how slippery this Richmond track is, and it is brutal. I would argue this is one of the most difficult tracks in the game, from how tight it is in the corners to how awfully loose it is on the exit. That, and it is, because of how tight it is, it's incredibly difficult to get to the bottom, especially in 1 and 2, and that Sun is in the worst position it could be. Really trying to push this car is not working well for me. The wall there. I turn my mirror back on as I finally hit some other drivers, but even with this tire wear not being too high, this is such a difficult track to run.
2 to go.
Cade continues to lead here.
White flag right here.
Drivers already complaining about the track's condition, which I do not blame them in the slightest for. This is going to be a challenge all race long to be able to keep your car under control, keep it from sliding. Is out of 3 and 4. We end the practice race, the qualifying race. Cade takes the victory. It's going to be Milk second, Bryce third, NLS P4, and I believe whoever was in the 3, which I believe is Chicken, yes it is, in 5th. After that, we Jarrett, Raptor, Mopar, Radical, and G-Cool. Round out your top 11. Then it is F1 Fan and Tyreek, 12th and 13th. So this is going to be a very, very interesting qualifying order, because this track absolutely has its favorites and it has its least favorites in terms of how to run this place. So as we see the qualifying results, as my data is syncing for NASCAR 25, why did that happen? Waiting for them to appear, and there they are. It is going to be Cade on pole. P2, Tyreek Speed. P3, Milk. P4, Bryce. P5, Chicken. P number 6 is going to be NLS. P7, the first in the 23s, is going to be NASCAR F1 Fan. Starting P8 is Radical, with position number 9 going to Jarrett. P10 is going to be Wee, with P11 going to Mopar. P12 is G-Cool, and rounding out the field in 13th is going to be AFK Raptor. It is a very, very short first stage here at Richmond. 17 laps of green flag action. Then it's a stage of 40 laps and something else. How is it 100 if it's 17? I think it's 17, 40, and 43. Is that math? Yeah, that math is good. The 17's throw me off. This first stage is very, very short in comparison to the rest of the race. But we are now getting ready to go race at Richmond. as we are having some lobby issues with turning flags on and off. Now everything is set. All right, the lobby has been on pause. The issues have resolved themselves, or something along the lines happened. As we get ready to go storming the action track here at Richmond. Field of 13 about to take on 3/4 of a mile. It's going to be an exciting start. It could be very, very hectic. That is the unknown, is when the cautions are going to come out. Will the field separate under the pressure of a hard-to-drive track, or will they be stuck together in difficult conditions, forcing to run the same lines as one another and getting into each other? We will find out in about 20 seconds. The timer has gone. The lobby is now loading as we get ready to battle out at Richmond. Thank you, everybody who's joining us tonight or watching later on. We really appreciate you. Valvoline is always a fun series for me to get to cover at the very least. So I hope you enjoy me in the booth, and I hope to be back the next time I'm here or whenever I'm needed. Now, we are all on-track drivers getting to the restart zone. Green flag is out here at Richmond. Milk is ghosted on that bottom lane. He was having internet issues in a race earlier today. Wow. Tyreek spins out into the inside wall. Back up onto the track. Doesn't kill anyone. I got super loose as well. And now the first lap has sorted itself out. This is going to be a tough track to commentate on. It takes so much concentration to not spin off of two here. My braking points are just a little too deep right now. The top three, though, look at how close they are. The 9, 24, and 11, three staples of Valvoline. Going at it at the opening laps here. The 9 moves up the track. Bryce is going to take the lead, but gets loose. Now the 24 on the outside has the momentum and will take back the lead. The two Hendrick cars battling with Denny Hamlin, Milk in third. It appears that I'm slowly gaining on the pack, certainly not in the battle. I'm just trying to keep my car from spinning right now. But the leaders are running side by side and continue to do so. The 9 will not relent. The 24 cannot get around. Inside lane versus outside lane. It is a thrilling battle here at Richmond. This is the third lap in a row now they've gone side by side. There is a big wreck in the back. We're waiting to see if that's going to be called. I can't tell if anything is happening yet in terms of a caution coming out, but the 24 has now cleared the 9 on that top lane. The 9 moves up a little bit, gets in the wall as Milk now goes to the inside of the 9 machine of Price. The 11 rolling the outside. Bryce on the inside gets tight, washes up the track, off the corner. There's contact, both of them loose. Into 3, Bryce holding the yellow line, now washing up. Does he get into the 11 on exit? He holds it off the 11. 11 touches the wall slightly. He maintains his speed, however. Still side by side. Into turn 1. They're both up the track. Bryce with a huge slide job. Milk holds the wall on the outside. What a pass. Bryce gets around him. The slide job successful. I couldn't tell if there was contact there, but now I'm right up in the fix, right on Milk's bumper, trying not to get into him. Is everybody rolling the middle or the top lane right now? It's just so difficult to get down to the bottom, as now Milk and I are side by side. The 11 and the 57, how often do we see this? Battling out, but this time for third, not their usual battling grounds. as it's still side by side. The top lane has the momentum down the front straightaway. Milk very, very high up the track. Cade rolling the top and keeping the lead. I'm working the bottom, and Milk is going to clear me. It seems like the top has its advantages, especially when it comes to the handling of the race cars. And the run off the corner is being a very, very powerful tool tonight. Rice running all the way at the wall here at Richmond, pulling the rest of the pack behind him up. I'm trying to make the bottom work, and it doesn't seem to have it. Certainly not how I thought this race was going to play out, being a top-heavy track. Is look at that, the 24 slides all the way down nearly to the apron, but collects it. What a save, but now Bryce back in the picture. These two ran side by side for all of the opening laps, and that's a lap car who just dumped himself onto the middle of the field. G-Cool just ran up into the middle of the field, right in front of the leaders. Huge damage for Milk and NLS, most likely. I can say for sure for me. Yeah, the huge damage. 17 seconds for Milk, 10 seconds for me. That was awful.
We're coming in, fellas.
So now it's going to be a lot of cars with promising speed going to the back here due to a lapped car losing it and spinning up in front of not quite the leaders, but those battling for the lead. All the way to the back of the field due to that wreck from G-Cool. G-Cool now, the last two races I've been here for, this and Nashville, has caused some significant incidents. We don't have very many laps left in the stage, as a lot of drivers up the hill in the back, and a lot who spin off of the corner. And man, I have gotten incredibly lucky, and I'm already back to P5 after that restart. Someone went up the track ahead of me, and I was able to take advantage. And I am on the new setup, which could be beneficial now that setups are in the picture, which means I can run more of my traditional style that I've been practicing on this week. Milk is up to P6, so he's made some significant gains as well. It's Radical and Jarrett swapping paint side by side into one heavy contact between the 54 and the 71, as it looks like Cade is going to take the stage here. Bryce not quite able to get to him. The 24 and the 9 still battling, but it's going to be the 24 who takes stage number 1, Bryce 2, Radical 3, NLS 4, and then behind me I couldn't quite tell. The 54 of Jarrett hangs on for P5.
Pit road is open.
Now, as we look at the rest of the results, 6th is Milk, 7th is Weeb, G-Cool finishes 8th, Chicken is 9th, and that is as far down the order as I can see. I know Milk can see one more on his screen. I do not have that ability, unfortunately.
Get up on the wall now, we're coming.
The one car is stuck spun out on the apron of the track and is messing with all of our AIs. That's really funny. Now, on to stage number 2. The nighttime has descended. Who is it going to be the right time for? We get ready to go in the restart zone once again. 24 fires off P1. We go racing. Actually, I'm wrong about that. It's the 60 of Raptor who goes P1. He might not have pitted. Which he immediately goes up to the outside. I wonder if it was a mistake that he didn't pit as opposed to an intentional decision. So we have a couple around in the back. The 54 hits the 71 hard up the track, as guess who is battling for the lead once again? It is the 9 and the 24, almost side by side. Do they get side by side? No, 9 with the top lane takes the spot away. Now 57 looks high, 9 gets loose, 57 very loose, almost goes around, 54 saves him actually, and will get up into third with a fast car. Jarrett wrapping the bottom, he's gonna go for the pass on Cade, and he gets it! Leaves him a little bit of room, they're still side by side. Bryce now scooting away as the 54 and 24 look to battle. It's Jarrett on the bottom, making the move stick and passing the 24 machine. Bryce still working that top as well as Cade. It's Jarrett and NLS on the bottom. NLS does not make his move work. Jarrett not quite alongside the 9 car yet. Milk still battling back further in the field after a messy restart from the pack. Bryce really working that high lane right now. It might be better in the long term on tire wear. It certainly gets the run off. Jarrett slides up nearly into him, barely clears himself behind the 9 car. Now this front pack migrating to the middle or top lane. Jarrett pushing hard to try to catch this 9 car. Cade in the 24 and NLS in the 57 riding tight behind. Not letting anyone pull away, but not having the speed to get back to the leader either. There's a big wreck in the back. I believe it was Milk who went around. Can't actually tell. I know Milk's apologizing. I obviously don't have his stream up as I am racing. As once again, I'm going to pull alongside Cade. He has the top lane, but he hits the wall. And I actually save him as he bounces down the track into me. And now I will take the spot from the 24. So a pass for P3, the 57 over the 24 now. Bryce still running away, ripping the fence at Richmond of all places. Is driving off as Jarrett hits the wall now. Throws a block low after hitting the wall. Interesting move. It's going to work out for him right now. As now it's a guessing game of which lane everyone's going to take. Jarrett to the bottom. NLS looking for that second spot, tries to rip the high lane to get some momentum. He has big momentum, and Jarrett's in the wall. That's going to allow NLS to get up to second. The thing is, can he chase down Bryce? Or can he even get away from the pack he's currently in? Bryce looks lights out early on in this stage. As now the entire field looks to have migrated up to the top, where tire wear is not as bad, and there's a little bit more grip off of 2 is the biggest factor there. It's easier to wrap around that top lane is what it appears to be. I haven't done any practice up here, so I am figuring it out on the fly, seeing if you can break deeper or not. It doesn't appear like you can break a lot deeper. Bryce wrapping the very top lane. I don't know if anyone's doing it around where Milk is, but Bryce is on the wall the whole corner. Now Milk finally up to where he can see Jarrett in P3, or at the very least he recognized it, as he is excited about Jarrett being so high up in the field. And now it's Cade and it's Jarrett working to get by the NLS machine, but they're side by side now and lost a ton of speed in doing so. This stage is expected to be split down the middle by everyone here. While there is fuel to go about 30 laps on a tank, the tires don't like to run that long. They technically can. There's nothing saying that the tires are going to go down, but they are so hard to control when your car has worn tires. It is so difficult to maintain control of the vehicle. There's Bryce 2 seconds up the road from the rest of the pack, and I cannot tell if the pack is gaining on him or not. It is very difficult to tell at the 2 second gap. He just passed a lap car is also a factor. it appears as though he is still pulling away. But it's so hard to tell. I believe he's pulling away by a couple of hundredths every second, or every lap. He's pulling away by a lot more when I spin the car out of 4. I do save it, and that does bring Jarrett and Cade right back into the battle. Now Jarrett goes for the crossover, getting to the inside of NLS. They're side by side. Now it's Jarrett and Cade back to being side by side. These tires are starting to become angry. NLS will drop the spot to Cade and actually drop it to Jarrett as well. We went 3 wide out of the exit of 4. So now Cade back up into P2, but it seems to be a dogfight between these 3 machines. Now Jarrett makes a slide job, but he is up the track a little bit here. Lost some momentum out of the corner. NLS is going to be able to get back by him if he can hold on to the race car, which he barely does. So they're still now side by side. As Tyreek is also in this battle, 2nd through 5th, all within about 0.2 of a second of each other. As now we get to see who does what when it comes to pit strategy. This is very, very interesting as we near the halfway of the stage. I'm assuming cars are going to... Wow, the 60 and the 19 get into it right in front of the big group of 2nd to 5th. The second time tonight, the 19's been spun up and is now walling the 24 into the wall. The 19, a lapped car, getting into these guys, not racing for a lead lap spot, just racing to stay in front of 3 cars who are trying to catch the leader, and is actively slowing them all down now. So I barely make pit road with the speed limit correctly. I'm the first one to pit out of the whole field. We will have to see if that works for me. Man, in a college football update, I just got an ESPN notification that says snowballs are being thrown at the Sun Belt Championship game, which is JMU versus Troy. That's funny. That's really funny. All right, my pit stop's completed. I just have to make sure I don't spin it out of the pit lane here at Richmond. Easier said than done. And now that sequence has been completed. I'm a lap down, but I am on fresh tires. We will have to see where that cycles out. Strategy now coming into play in a long run here at Richmond.
On your toes now.
So I come out significantly in front of Tyreek, who was in front of me when when I came down pit road. We were a part of that giant group that got interrupted by the 19. He's going to, for sure, have a better long run, better pace than me right this second. But does the pitting earlier get that lap of fresher tires go in my advantage? The 71 wrecks himself down the back straightaway. Actually manages to save it there at the end. So not a bad job here. Milk is 2 positions behind me, but unfortunately I cannot see what he is seeing on stream. And there's nobody around me right now. So this is not the most exciting thing for me to be able to commentate. Probably not for you guys to be able to watch. But the mind games are always interesting. Who will be the next one down pit road? When will Bryce pit? When will Cade pit? When will Jarrett pit? Those have been the top 3 all night tonight. Bryce and Cade always expected factors to be fast, and Richmond has been a track that has suited both of them in Heat 5 and now in this game. Jarrett is a little bit more of a surprise. He's run quick here. He's been very fast in practice sessions. The real question is, how is he going to do in the race? And the answer is very well at the moment. Tyreek now also passing G Cool. I just got by him myself. And there's the 24 who has made his stop. Oh, sorry, he's making his stop now. As Bryce, I believe, is in. Bryce and Cade both have pit. And it is now me and Tyreek who are battling for the on-track. Not for the on-track lead. There's still a couple of cars in front. Bryce and Cade still technically in front as they're the leaders and stayed out the longest.
Outside now.
Tyreek has a very, very fast car and is making the inside work well. I'm very curious to see if the inside is just legitimately faster. As it looks like Bryce has actually stayed out on the racetrack. Cade is pit and is out well in front of us, even though he was in the same group as we were, which makes me believe... Oh, I apologize. Cade is now well behind us as Bryce is finally down pit road. He went the whole fuel window. My guess is he's going for 2 tires. Every time I tried that, I spun out. So will it work for Cade? Or for Bryce, I apologize. And where did Cade go? I didn't see that he left the VC. I have no idea where Cade ended up. It is now, after pit cycle is complete, Bryce falls back to P5. Pit cycle meaning a lot. Does Bryce's fresher tires, however, mean he can run down the leaders? Which right now, it's me and Tyreek. And Tyreek is to my inside. He was able to maintain the inside down the front straightaway this lap. This is interesting. And maybe I played my hand too early of splitting it in half. I feel like someone would have done it, but now I definitely think it's going to be the go-to in Stage 3. As Tyreek, with a slightly good run there, it's a battle for the lead. Tyreek at the line, NLS back on the straightaway. Tyreek now trying to clear, is not quite clear. He stays low, gets loose. Respectful racing from the top 2 right now, giving each other room, but no doubt it is an intense battle. And it is NLS ripping the top. It is the 1 car on the bottom. And there it is, the 1 car gets through, NLS run, but nowhere to take it. Takes the lead, NLS with a big run off the corner, can't quite get on the throttle soon enough to take advantage of it. And that's been the case all week long for me. As the battle's not over yet. Tyreek and I still very close to each other. This is a very, very close battle here. As now I get loose, have to save it down the front straightaway. That should give him a lot of room now. Milk running P3. Tyreek in the wall. Wait a minute. It's not over yet. There, I am going quiet because there is a lot happening right now. I'm trying to find a line that's as fast as Tyreek running the bottom, and I can't quite do it. He is taking these corners so well, but I'm too loose off to decrease my wedge anymore. So he goes way to the inside, doesn't lose all that much time, but now will as he goes into the corner. So shallow, has to brake early. I'm looking for a run off the top still. This it comes. Coming to 3 to go, Tyreek had a big loose moment, and this stage is not quite over. There is a lap car under Tyreek, as he complains to his car, why can't you just drive straight? It's not quite over yet. Coming to 2 to go. Does NLS get a run? Does Tyreek make another mistake? Both possible here. 2 laps to go in the stage. And the drivers who pit later have not made any progress, as there is a big shot of momentum for Tyreek, much further ahead this time through. And now, white flag. Tyreek has pulled a large gap here. Milk finally coming into view of NLS, or at least close view. Tyreek's still loose, but it would take a major failure here to throw away this stage win. It looks like the battle in the back for that next stage point is going to be great, but Tyreek wins the stage, NLS second, Milk third, Bryce fourth, and I believe it was the 54 of Jarrett finishing P5, although I will have to double check that. Yes, it was the 54 of Jarrett finishing P5 in the stage. His pit strategy made a huge difference there. Bryce only able to get back up to fourth. Milk P3, and the 24 car is P7, with everybody else at least 1 lap down. Now, pit stops being made. What decisions are going to win different drivers the race? Such a tricky track. It's not a conventional type of track to set up on either. It's not as straightforward as a place like Nashville where you drop everything and go. This place is a little bit different for sure. So now it's Tyreek and NLS on the front row. Milk and Bryce behind him. Final stage here in Richmond. We are green.
Car outside. Car outside. Outside door.
Bryce hard into the back of NLS on the restart. Didn't anticipate where the brake point was. Milk almost puts NLS in the wall on the back straightaway.
Clear outside.
The 11 car clears into second. Bryce in third on the bottom. Tyreek holding the lead, and Bryce has got a big head of steam going into 1 and 2.
Clear low if you want it. Caution's out.
And there is a big wreck in the back. We're going to go under the caution flag once again. He's looking at who's going to pit on just a couple of corners of tires. It looks like a good amount of the field now as Tyreek, NLS, Jarrett, Chicken. Now Milk chooses to pull the trigger to pit. It's going to be everyone so far except for Bryce and Cade. Do they stay out of the old tires? It's looking likely. No, now Cade's going to pit. Is Bryce going to stay out? And it's Bryce, who elected not to pit before he could see what happened to others. He is going to be on slightly older tires. Will that make a difference under ×4 conditions? Green flag, back out.
One outside. Outside door. Clear, clear.
Through turn 1 we go. It looks a little bit cleaner this time. As we have tight action all over the place, a couple of cars ghosted, making it really hard to see who is where.
Car outside. Clear inside.
Now the 24 goes below the 57. Not a lot of room there.
Outside now. Clear low if you want it.
As the 24 continues to push the slide job move. He's finally worked his way to the top, but now he's going to slide up into the fence. It's 3 wide.
One low.
And there's a huge battle for the lead right now as Bryce holding off Tyreek and holding off Milk barely. We've got two different 3-car battles under blankets here. The real question is, do we make it 6 here in a few laps? As Milk tries to clear himself, not there in front of Bryce. Now is fading up the track, looking for room. As I just barely clear Bryce in about the same fashion. So now Cade comes to my inside. Jarrett and Cade side by side. 3 wide all over the place. We're 3 wide for the lead. We're 3 wide for 4th. This might be the most absurd racing I've ever seen ever. We're actually a 4-car battle for now because the 8 of NASCAR F1 fan has come up into the mix. As Cade turns across me, gets me loose, and he's spun out into the wall. It was 2. Cage, you came across my nose. I know where to go. Alright, well I have that clipped if that needs to be resolved later. But hard racing lasted so long. And then all of a sudden, there were problems. Because we're still a 3-car under the blanket for the lead currently. Milk in the middle, Bryce on the fence. Look at the run the 1-car has on the bottom of the track. Milk pit volley off of both of them as he gets loose in the middle. Bryce now up a lane in the wall. Doesn't slow down much. The 1-car's down low. All of this happening about a second up the road from me. This is wild. 3 totally different lines, 3 different driving styles, 3 different aggressive drivers. This racing is incredible. I was gaining a little bit and then I hit the wall.
Car outside. Clear high.
Milk ghosted. It's hard for me to tell if he's inside of Bryce right now or just behind him.
Car low.
This is such intense racing. Bryce a little bit slideways off the corner. I have a good corner and crawl a little bit closer. The 1-car overshoots the corner badly, has to back out. 1-car is officially out of that battle for the lead. Back closer to me before I drill the wall on exit. F1 fan now to my inside. Cannot make it stick. Certainly seems like some cars are just able to turn a little bit better right now. It's the 1-car backing way off. I wonder if he is damaged now. And now the 1-car dropping well back, and we have a big wreck on the back straightaway. I'm wondering if that's going to bring out a manual. And no, it brings out an automatic, in fact.
Pit road is open.
And now,
Okay with this?
we have a predicament. 26 laps to go. You can make this without pitting. This is going to be a very, very interesting finish to this race.
Pitting now, fellas. Let's get a nice smooth stop.
All right, and I've made my pit decision. Took me a second, but we now get ready to go once again. Top 3, Bryce, Milk, NLS, F1 Fan, and Tyreek are 4 and 5 as we get ready for what should be the last run of the night here at Richmond, barring another caution.
All clear. Car low. Clear inside. Clear low if you want it.
Through the first set of corners, it's F1 Fan and NLS side by side. F1 Fan will clear off the top. This is the 1-car now going to the bottom. They're 3 wide for a second. Milk and Bryce into the wall as Bryce takes the lead back. 5 cars immediately pull away. It's the 1, the 8, the 11, the 9, and the 57 all under a blanket here.
If you want it. Car outside. One on the bottom.
Now the 8 of F1 fan
If you want it.
comes down the track a little bit and will actually give me the high lane, not intentionally, but he is not clear. Please don't come up.
Clear high.
Gives me the high lane. I'm sending it in a little bit deeper than he is right now.
Clear low if you want it.
Because right now, the top 3 have separated themselves just a little bit more. Seems like my short run is not terrible, but my long run is where I seem to fall off a little bit from these guys.
Outside door.
But look at the position swapping for the lead. Milk still right in behind the 9 car. A little bit of contact to the inside. Do we see a move? Not quite. Can't make it stick out of 2. The 1 car of Tyreek still the only machine determined to wrap the bottom and make it work. And he's going to get to the inside of Milk before fading back up on the back straightaway. Momentum not letting him get clear. Bryce still running that extreme outside line, getting all the way into the wall nearly. It's Tyreek in the wall again on his own. He's down back at the bottom. He gets alongside Milk every time and then can't quite finish the deal. Now that's allowed me to get right in behind Milk. Bryce, though, still seems to be in his own planet. So there's a lot of battling and bickering in the back of the field. Bryce now pulling away as the 111 and 57 continue to battle.
Inside.
Tyreek will get such good mid-corner, but doesn't have the exit quite. The 1 car continuing to wrap that bottom lane. He certainly has something right now that others might not. No, into the wall, ghost in front of me. I can't believe he ghosted and I got through that without damage. He was not a ghost a second before him, and then he ghosted. Thank goodness for me. So unfortunate for Milk. I don't know how much damage he might have sustained from that, but he's definitely lost the track position, and that lets the 1 car free to use the whole track, but he does just butcher it, going straight into the wall there. Now Tyreek, again, giving another chance to use the whole racetrack. If he's going to be faster than 9, I want him to get there. Tyreek, go get him. Tyreek is undoubtedly faster than me, so I am letting him go. He is not who I'm battling with right now. Who I'm battling with, I've got the familiar foe of that 11 machine in my mirror for about the millionth time. Bryce in the wall. There's a real shot now for Tyreek to get there.
Car high. All clear.
The 11 to the bottom of the racetrack. Can he make it stick? It looks like he's going to lose the momentum here. This battle for the lead is intense as Milks doesn't quite make the bottom stick. He'll be back on me soon enough, for sure. He is the faster car right now. I'm doing all I can to build a brick wall. And Tyreek gets loose to the bottom of the track. Is that going to be what seals Bryce's victory? Both of these drivers have made little mistakes, though, the last couple of laps. These tires, so easy to manipulate the car poorly. It could all go away so quickly. This race is far from over. One car in the wall again, now losing a significant amount of time. As now the 71 and the 9 look like they're getting into it, but the 71's ghosted. I can't quite tell where he is.
One outside. Clear, clear.
9 Still running that high line he loves so much. Not in the wall this time. The 1 has a great run from the bottom, but just can't make the car quite stick. Still better momentum this time than the last couple of laps, but he can't quite keep it out of the wall right now. 0.5 seconds. This is such a good battle between the 1 and the 9. The 9 gets loose off the top. The 1, not with a run from that bottom lane, but he did have a shot to get to the quarter panel. The question is, using that lower line with zero ability to get a run, what does he do with it? As he slid off the bottom of the corner and is into the wall hard now, dropping back to 0.7 of a second. That's the furthest he's been from the lead this whole run. But look at that run on the bottom. So pretty through the middle of the corner. If he gets to the 9, what is his plan around? 6 to go. The 1 and the 9. I can't imagine the 1 pulling off this victory without a little bit of contact at this point as he continues to slide to the wall, now almost 9/10 back. He's going to have to gather back time, get some good corners in. He is faster, but only just, and he has no momentum down these straightaways. Moving up the track a little bit, trying to diamond off. It looks like he's going to slide it, but keep it off the wall. Lost a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. 9/10 back still. Dylan did it from 1.3, I believe. Not very many to go. Bryce looks to be on rails now. The gap's still not perfect for the 9 machine, but it is certainly manageable. But with running the top, he's kind of going to leave that bottom undefended unless he decides to change laps on the final lap, change lines on the final lap. So we had 3 to go in this race. There is a wrecked car on the back straightaway, as we were being told. I'm in the wall a little bit. The 71 spinning it out to the bottom on fresh tires, but is on rails. G-Cool is the one who spun out. And look at that, 1.3 seconds now. Bryce, with 2 laps to go, he is dominated here at Richmond all night. This place has become his stomping ground. Came in late, qualified up front, and is coming around 3 and 4 to take the white flag, or tonight, the mercy flag for the rest of the field. 1 to go here at Richmond. Bryce is going to come around 1 and 2. No mistakes. The 1 car keeping it out of the wall. It looks like it's going to be official. The 9 car, rounds 3 and 4. The 1 can't get there. The 9, Bryce, wins at Richmond.
Top 5, great finish.
The rest of your top 5. After Bryce and the 9 machine, it's going to be Tyreek, NLS, Milk, and K battles his way back up to 5th. P6, Mopar, P7, F1 Fan, P8, Weeb, P9, the 47, P9 is Death Chicken. There was a little bit of shuffling there as the cars came to the line. P10, Jarrett in the 54. The 11 of AFK Raptor finishes 11th, Radical 12th, and G-Cool 12 laps down in 13th. What a performance from Bryce. This is what he needed after missing a couple of races this season. A dominating performance from the 9 car, and Tyreek couldn't quite get it done late. What a battle from the action track. What a finish from Richmond. We will be right back to interview in the booth. All right, and we are now here getting ready for interviews. I'm going to pull up the live stream so I can get a screen capture of the finishing results in just a moment. Good, it's the first thing on my YouTube recommended. That's so nice. Um, so in just a moment, we will have your interviews for you here from the drivers themselves in the interview room as soon as Milk pulls us in there, waiting for that to happen.
Make sure to mute yourself while there's an interview, please.
All right, and we have migrated ourselves into the interview room. We're going to go through this in finishing order now that I have it pulled up. And after that, I get to go watch some football. Bryce is in the VC, just joined now, I believe. Bryce, you put on a dominant performance tonight. That white flag, surrender from the rest of the field, except for maybe Tyreek. Those last 20 laps, how was that battle?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I'm glad it didn't come down to strategy because we know how I can be with strategy. I screwed it up in the second stage, and honestly, I was convinced I'd probably do the same in the third stage. But that was actually really fun race, and glad I got the win.
Yeah, Bryce, how much did you need that win after having missed a couple of races, and where do you think this puts you when it comes to the season as a whole?
Yeah, I feel like that's a win definitely needed after I missed like two races. So that'll definitely bring me back into the points a little bit. That's definitely gonna help. But I just wanted to win a win in general, just because I haven't won a NASCAR 25 league race yet, and got it now. So that was a pretty fun race, and GG's to everyone.
Yeah, one last question for you. Speaking of your first win, that is also your team's first win, if I am not mistaken. So
Well,
congratulations from a team perspective. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good that I could get the first for the team. Hoping for the rest of the team to get their wins soon. But that was definitely fun. Yeah, best of luck for the rest of the team. Try to get their wins, and yeah, just glad to be the first, I guess.
All right, that was your winner, Bryce, and the Nine Machine. Absolutely dominating this race in terms of pace and performance. Now we head to Tyreek, who you could argue was one of Bryce's only challengers after the first stage was over. Tyreek, what more would you have had to give in order to get around that Nine Machine? Wow, I did all of that and he's not even in the VC, is he? That's unfortunate. Womp womp. All right, I'm third. I'm not interviewing myself. So next up is Milk, P4. You were running in the top three for a lot of the night, with some exceptions of crashes that you got caught up in. Obviously, there's the early one with G Cool. Battled your way back and forth through the field a couple nights. How do you feel about a fourth place finish?
I mean, I'll take it. That was a chaotic race for sure. I think I had the pace to maybe challenge with Bryce, but he was insane tonight. I'm happy with the result. Happy to battle back. I had so much adversity tonight, so got to give it to my team.
Yeah, really good performance overall, able to battle back for some adversity. I believe you are still the championship leader by a wide margin based on some other people being a little bit unfortunate to show. Does a fourth place finish help or hurt you in the overall championship, you think, in terms of mentality?
Mentality definitely helps because I didn't being able to fight back from incidents like that is just so important to know that you're able to do that in future for like in the playoffs. So just knowing I'm able to do that, knowing to stay calm through all the stuff, just staying calm and not getting too aggressive in my head or not getting too frustrated in my head, just being able to stay calm and put the pedal down and be able to still finish where I think I deserved.
That is a positive attitude for Milk, finishing P4. Now, rounding out your top five, a driver who was quick early. Something happened at the end of the first stage that I'm still not quite sure of. Kane, where'd you go?
I don't know. I literally have no idea. It turned night and the car was gone. Anything that worked before didn't work anymore. Any line, it wasn't sticking. The car was gone. I don't know what happened. First place car by a lot went to a fifth place car.
Yeah, certainly some fall off after that first stage. Still in good standing overall for the season. Do you think that there's another way that you could have potentially adjusted the car to get some speed tonight, or is this just a track issue for you?
Oh, there was definitely adjustments I could have made. I just didn't have enough practice to know what to do. I kind of just went
All
in
right.
and had the mindset of figuring it out, and that was not the way to go, and I should have stayed in bed.
Cade, with a regretful evening, not getting the most out of what he probably could have, finishing P5. Next up, Mopar with a P6. It might just be me, but I feel like Mopar has been on a hot streak recently across all the leagues he's raced on. Mopar, P6, what are your thoughts?
Dude, after 2 accidents I was involved in, I had a run-on decal, and I did apologize. I had a problem with my brakes. I hit the brake, I went dead right into his right rear, and I was like, oh. So I was like, I just stayed focused. We got into the nighttime, and I said, okay, I got the adjustments right. Took off on that final restart, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna get interesting. I see the top guys in front of me. I was like, I'm not gonna get them, but Mr. Excitement, I'm happy. I'm glad that I took sixth place. I am going somewhere with this, thanks to my team, Chevy companions over there in my team. Great job for Bryce. He did a great job, and all you guys did a great job as well. And you stay, locked in, especially for me. And I know I got something coming up through the ranks. So yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah. Our very own Jimmy Spencer. Mr. Excitement, how do you feel about going to Watkins Glen next week? Are you ready to hit the road course?
That's my home track. I'm for sure I'm going to try to show something in the road courses. I just got to be careful with that bus stop because that right curve could throw everybody off with those little turtles they added. So I'll see if I can put some practice in and see what type of good changes I could
Oh,
do.
yeah. It would be a good week for practice for sure. Watkins Glen up next week. Thank you, Mr. Excitement Mopar.
All right, guys,
We
have a
have
good one. I'll see
two
you guys
more.
next Friday.
All right, we have two more in the VC, trying to figure out which one of you guys finished higher. I believe it was Wolf. I believe it was Wolf.
I was
Maybe not.
8.
Hold on. Oh yeah, hold on. Wait, Weeb. Oh yeah, sorry. I saw King and I missed it. Weeb,
No,
solid performance from you tonight all the way around. You ended up back. I believe you were a lap down at one point. Got back onto the lead lap. What are your takeaways from an 8th place finish?
honestly, just some people need to know when to know how to hold a line and just pull over and let the people that know how to drive by. And I want to give a shout out to Raptor. He somewhat knows, and he got out of the way for me, but it was pretty alright.
Yeah, some frustrations with lap cars, and I can certainly understand why after some of the incidents tonight. Are you looking for the officials to possibly have some sort of repercussion for some of those actions?
Um, yes, but not to Raptor. I kind of recommend number 71 heavily. So I'm not pissed, but just I want them to be dealt with in a respectful manner.
Understood. Well, thank you for coming out tonight. We will have to see what happens with the lap machines.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, and now we have Proton the Wolf. I'm having trouble matching you up. I don't know what your username is.
I was mission 11. I was AFK Raptor.
Oh, gotcha. You're Raptor. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Raptor, first, I believe this is your first race in Valvoline, at least this season. Not a great night for you performance-wise, but did you enjoy coming out tonight, and can we see you again in the future?
We were not Charlotte last week was my
That's
first
right. I missed that race,
year.
so I apologize.
Tonight, honestly, it could have been better. The number 60 machine, her brakes worked better than her throttle, and I do apologize for those guys that got caught behind me. The car just was not acting like she was supposed to the entire night. Like as soon as the night, like some of the guys said, once the lights came on, the sun went down, the car just changed. I felt comfortable during the first stage. Once the lights went down, I just do not know what happened to her.
Oh yeah, bitten by one of the most prevalent forces in NASCAR, Mother Nature. Thank you for showing up tonight, and now we'll kick it over to Milk to finish off this stream. If he's here.
Thank you, NLS, for your commentary
There it is.
tonight. Thank you for all the effort you put in for this broadcast. And I hope you all enjoyed this amazing race at Richmond Raceway for the 6th running of the Mobil 1 500. We'll see you all next week at Watkins Glen for the Zayas Gay Grand Prix.